Urza is Magic's very own absentee father figure. Well, him and Gary Gygax and Dungeons & Dragons, of course. I mean, Magic is kind of like your brother that looks strangely like the milkman, but when you ask your mother, she just says, "Who? No, I've never met the milkman," as she looks wistfully off into the distance, remembering a summer of love, lust, and epic dungeon crawls filled with sensual illithids. Anyway, Urza was a planeswalker from Dominaria who had a lot of the game's early lore and story centered around him. He was a pre-mending planeswalker with obscene levels of power and a penchant for destruction. He once blew up an entire continent and fucked Dominaria into an ice age by simply playing with an old bowl of soup. Perhaps I'm under-explaining that a tad. Anyway, after being a big part of the game's early story, he'd been missing for a good long time. People were asking for an Urza card for a while. We got the dismembered head of Planeswalker Urza in Unglued, but people wanted a black bordered version they could play in competitive Magic. Then came Modern Horizons. Originally the set was pitched to follow up as Time Spiral 2, allowing the development team to play with all sorts of iconic and historical figures and themes from Magic's past. The problem was, according to some insider information, the word spiral focus tested very badly with the right-leaning members of the community. It sounded too much like the kind of thing a socialist snowflake would enjoy. The name of the set was then changed to Guns, Freedom and the Quest for Healthcare to appeal to the incels and neckbeards, but that tested badly with the lefties. Ultimately, a more politically neutral name was chosen in Modern Horizons, which also happened to focus test very well with middle-aged mothers for some reason. Look, now some people on the internet are going to think I'm some sort of centrist for taking jabs at both sides, when in reality I wish Boris Johnson would fuck off into the sea.
I have a thing where I make models of... when I was in London, well, Mayor of London, we build a beautiful... I make buses.
Twat.
Time Spiral 2, Guns, Freedom, and Modern Horizons, that's it. Modern Horizons brought us our first ever Urza card, and in all its glory, it's fucking absurd. It ETBs as a 1/4 and provides us with a body upon entry, and then allows us to tap artifacts for blue mana. A callback to Tolarian Academy, except it's kinda better. It allows us to tap them one by one, sort of procedurally, allowing us to create combo turns where we cantrip and draw multiple cards, multiple artifacts, and tap them over time. Whereas the lands like Academy, Cradle, Serra Sanctum, they all required you to tap them at one particular time to net the most amount of mana, meaning sequencing was a difficult part of maximising their effect. That said, if that was all Urza did, he would still be pretty damn busted. But he also has a one-shot Mind's Desire strapped to his underbelly like some kind of busted bearded battle dad. This basically gives us a mana sink for our combo engine to go off with. From there, we just play lock pieces and artifact value generators and laugh our way to the value bank. I was inspired to make this video after playing some Commander with cosplayers at GP Seattle, playing with Olivia Gubithix, if I pronounce your name wrong, I'm sorry, Kinsadi, Sigma fucking names are so hard. Playing alongside Olivia Gubithix, whatever, your name is difficult to pronounce, Kinsadi, Sigma Cladera, that's another mouthful. Old Man Urza, and Dana was there for a little bit as well. Old Man Urza was playing his Urza deck and had a pretty ludicrous turn before passing to the rest of the table. If he were to untap, there's no doubt in my mind that we would have just died. I was borrowing Olivia's Brer deck as I had left my deck in my hotel room, and I drew Urza the turn before passing back to the old man in the sea over here. I got to cast him and just go batshit fucking crazy. I ended up comboing off, taking infinite turns and just shitting myself until someone said, you know what, we're done, we'll scoop it up. Sorry? The deck list for my deck today is in the description below. Feel free to peruse, and suggest changes in the description below. For example, Torpor Orb is actually terrible in this deck, and I blame Old Man Urza for playing it and making me think it might be good. Because it's not. It's actually really bad. As always, this video is brought to you by the love and support of my patrons over on Patreon. If you want to get involved in with tuning lists, behind the scenes talks on content creation, or even submitting decks for me to play on stream or in a video, then head on over to patreon.com/PleasantKenobi and sign up today. For just $2 a month, you get access to my Discord server where we hang out, and all of my opponents in this game are actually patrons that jumped in when I put out a call for some players on my Discord. The largest of my contributing patrons are on screen right now. If you want to get your name into a video, you can join their ranks and support me in keeping this shit going. My other largest contributor is channelfireball.com. They support me in making these videos, keeping the lights on and getting me out to GPs and Magic Fests all over the world. I got to stream live from the stage at Seattle, did a live episode of Dice Removal, and got to be on a game show with people from Loading Ready Run, which is like a dream come true. Senpais even noticed me as Graham even gave me a high five after one of my jokes. I could have fucking died right there. If you're signing up for a Magic Fest or GP, use the code KENOBI when you're signing up to support the channel and show them that a wise and wonderful bearded Brit sent you. With that out of the way, let's play some games. Well, our first game went horribly wrong. In spite of having a turn 1 Mystic Remora accompanied by a Mana Crypt and a Mind Stone, I got absolutely shat on by a turn 1 Obnixilis from Danielle playing Liliana Tribal. Swamp, Crypt, Dark Ritual into Obnixilis leads to a turn 4 emblem on me, because fuck me, I guess, right? I thought this emblem only triggered when I drew cards, so I absent-mindedly cast a Howling Mine to help others draw into removal to deal with this fucking contamination lock we're under, thanks to Gravecrawler, so all our lands only tap for black mana. Yeah, Urza isn't a huge fan of black mana, nor Black Manta either. He says he prefers his Aquaman villains to have a bit more depth than the cinematic depiction that we had of Black Manta in the Aquaman movie. Urza's a bit of a comic book dork. Who'd read comic books, am I right? Anyway, because of the emblem, the Mind does 4 damage to me per turn as a minimum. I get one more turn where I can do shit all and I die in a blaze of card drawing glory. Danielle is so far ahead that the others scoop and we go for a second game. Fun game, Danny. Cheers for that. Right-e-oh, Creaky Asp has won the die roll and is deciding whether or not to go first. We're joined today by some patrons. We have Oodles, which was our opponent in our last game that we're not keeping to play, where they went turn 1 Obnixilis, turn 4 Emblemus into a containment, whatever the fuck it's called. God is now online, is on Aerial Knight Tribal, I believe, and Creepy Asp is on Ramos Dragon Engine. We're gonna keep this. We've got a Ponder, we've got Ristic Studies. These cards are fine. It's quite a slow hand, in all fairness. Underground Sea, since he's Divining Top. The bane of every Magic player ever, because it's always slowed down at least one game you played in your life, whether it be in Commander, Legacy or similar. I'm going to untap and draw an Impulse, just drawing all the cantrips. We're going to cast a Ponder then. We're basically just digging for mana, or anything that produces multiple artifacts. I guess a Windfall isn't terrible if we can find fast mana, but none of these cards are all that useful. So I'm going to put any order. Shuffle my library, yes. And draw a Mishra's Workshop, which again is good if we can find some artifacts. Fun fact, this card is absurdly expensive in paper and worth fucking nothing on MTGO. Basic Swamp from Danielle this time round. Not the fucking obnoxious turn that she had last game. Nothing from God is now online on Ariel. The creakiest of asps now will have 2 mana. Lightning Greaves. Or as I like to call them, Quick Socks. Lotus Petal. We're now gonna cast an Impulse and look for some form of decent mana rock. That is a Time Twister. Not so hot when we have the most cards in hand. We're casting Ristic Study next turn, so we're going to take the top. We put 2 Draw 7s on the bottom of our library or shuffled away because we just don't have any fast mana. A Guildgate Former God is now online. These decks are varying power levels, by the way. Mine's kind of obnoxious, but not quite as obnoxious as Contagion or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like Blood Moon, but worse. Sivin Caryatid into play. Will she get the quick socks? She has socks that make her quick. But how quick can she be? Will she tap for a Raging Goblin? No. Land, but tapped. No shocking. Blue mana. It's spin that top. The frustrating thing about Modo is that you can't just spin the top while other people are doing things. You gotta wait for them to finish spinning the top. Makes top even more annoying than in paper. We drew an island, which is not ideal. We're going to play Ristic Studies. Next turn we can play an Urza and we'll actually have a petal and a top to follow up with, so we actually can make some plays, as they say. Ristic Studies is great on Modo because you don't have to remember and you don't have to keep asking, did you pay 1 for that? Did you pay 1 for that? That said, I'm getting ready to say it. They in fact did not pay 1 for that. Got there. Sai is a very good card to lead up with prior to or after an Urza. Order of the Sacred Torch. It's a 2/2 knight that when you tap it and pay 1 life, it can counter a black spell. That seems pretty good against Liliana, not gonna lie. Okay, Cricket Ass has shocked themselves a 5th mana. Oh, my study! Did they pay 1? Did they pay 1 to add insult to injury? They did not. Sweet! We drew a Narset, which means that if we get to draw one of our windfall cards, we get to have all the fun. We can have a bit of a storm turn with our Brain Freeze with Mox Opal, Lotus Petal, and Senses Divine top, but that doesn't seem all that gas. I mean, it does if we get to untap with Psy in play, but that's not necessarily something that would happen. So we go Psy, Island, Sensei's Divining top, Lotus Petal, and then Mox Opal. Yeah, seems pretty decent. Seems pretty decent. The Abyss. Wow, they're gonna kill my Psy. That is it's fucking rude. So every turn, every upkeep, they kill a non-artifact creature. In this case, Psy, and the turn after, probably Mishra. It's a shame the Order of the Sacred Torch was not untapped when this was cast, but there's a block here with the Sacred Torch, because I guess it's just garbage because of the Abyss, meaning it would die. On the upside, we got the value out of the Psy. I'm glad I didn't try and like go for a Storm Brain Freeze next turn or some dumb shit like that. Hedron Archive from God Is Now Online. The turn has passed and Creaky Asp is spinning the top in God Is Now's online instead. The reason I can't F6 out of this is I plan to do the same with my Mox Opal. Abyss triggers. It says destroy targets. They can't actually kill this poor Caryatid. Becomes a Ramos. I am going to spin my top in response to that to have a look at what's on top of our live. Brainstorm, Trinket Mage. Greaves attacks the Ramos. It has haste. It has flying. But where is it going? At the Liliana. Take that, you shit. I guess I'm just casting Urza here. There's not really any reason not to, let's be honest. Well, the reason not to is that he dies to the Abyss, but that's not really a reason not to. Almost accidentally tapped my pedal there, which I don't want. Look at the top 3 cards of our line. We don't want any of this shit, so we can put Island back. Counterspell back. Brainstorm back. We're going to tap to draw a card, drawing the Brainstorm. We're going to brainstorm some cards back. We're going to put Darksteel Citadel and Island back on top of our library. We're then going to cast a Trinket Mage. And then with Trinket Mage, we're going to go find... I mean, Skull Clamp seems like an obvious one, right? Play a Skull Clamp. Tap Skull Clamp for blue. Equip Skull Clamp to Thopter. Okay. Not bad, not bad. We're going to pass the turn at this point. Next turn we're going to have like Trail of Evidence online. We can start like going off perhaps, maybe, question mark? That art's so fucking good though. So Abyss is going to kill Liliana? Huh. Khan, Scion of Urza. That's kind of like a fucking betrayal, flavour-wise. And they're going to go looking at the top of the library and they're going to choose... Who gets to look? Who gets to choose? An opponent. Not target, an opponent. Liliana, Untouched by Death, has a silver counter on her. And Contamination went into hand. God Is Now Online casts Night of Dawn. This is a 2/2 first striker, has the ability to gain protection from colour of your choice until end of turn. It also looks like a majestic carnival goer. That armour does not look remotely fucking practical. And a Kabira Vindicator, a 2/4 with level up. Levels up to the 3 whole mana. Levels 2 to 4, all of the creatures get +1/+1. Levels 5 plus, other creatures you control get +2/+2. One big old level uppy boy. They are topping in upkeep. Seems good. Seems good. Croesus Charm. Destroy target non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. That's fucking rude. That's actually really fucking rude. Cheers, buddy. That's a 7/7. Shit me. It's one big old flying fucking dragon. Also, all my flying blockers are untapped, so that can kill a Khan. I wonder where it's gonna go. Okay, they're tapping all my creatures and putting 3 more counters on Ramos to make him a 10/10. Guess that's gonna be 10 commander damage. They won't not kill Khan here and just attack me if they perceive me to be the biggest threat, which often is the case. Why can't I cut a break, you know? Yep, that's 10 commander damage. Okay, all 3 charms back to hand with All Sun's Dawn. It's a lot of charms. Destroy target artifact. Okay. Goodbye Skull Clamp, I guess. My Urza killed, my Clamp killed, and I was hit for 10 commander damage. That's kind of brutal. I guess I just cast Urza anyway, because he's just quite good. And if that paints a target on my head, then so fucking be it, Ramos boy. This will make a summoning sick construct. I'm going to play Mishra's Factory, which is quite an expensive card to have in a commander deck, I will admit. Cast a Sensitive Divine on top for 0 thanks to Foundry Inspector. Seems pretty decent. Seems pretty decent. And then we're going to make 5 blue mana for our artifacts and make another Thopter token. And now we have blockers, but we also have mana up for counterspell after blocks, I guess. If everyone swings at me, then I'm kind of in trouble. I can take the damage from the Knights, but not necessarily from this Ramos. I kind of need blockers, so I ain't swinging at nobody. I've also made enemies already, so I don't want to make any bigger enemies. A land drop from Danielle. Khan reveals Josu Vess and Snow-Covered Swamp. I think this deck is just Liliana themed, well, except for the prison pieces, obviously. I kind of have to keep my... That is fine, I can allow Grey Pact to resolve. Especially that funky cool art. I kind of have to keep up my counter magic for that tap down my team. God is now online has opted to draw 2 cards off the Hedron Archive on their turn. All first strikers now have double strike, which is kind of scary. Carnival Knight is now suddenly far more formidable. Kabira Vindicator rides his big old fucking beast right into Khan's face. Is Khan saying goodbye? Oh. I will save my Tezzeret from taking 4 damage by throwing a Trinket Mage under the bus. Khan goes from 7 to 5. And my Tezzeret lives to speak another day? Is that what they... lives to make Thopters another day? Have a claw for another day? Tricky Asp untaps with an 11/11 Ramos, which is kind of scary. I'm dead if that hits me. After spinning the top, we move to main phase where he begins to cast something. Is it some form of charm? It's an Abzan charm. Draw 2 cards and gain 2 life. I can let that resolve. They spin the top again after drawing 2 cards. Let's find out what they find here. They have 2 mana open after this. I think this might be the first time I'm playing as the Ramos Dragon Engine and seeing it got cast, because I realize how good it can be at just haymakering people. Oh, they got a lot more mana because of the Ramos ability. I see. So I'm going to have to sack one of my constructs to this. Luckily, Danny can't sack anything to trigger the Grave Pack, so we're only sacking one thing here. I am cream cracking for those of you at home who might notice that my energy levels seem a bit lower than normal. It's because I'm just pretty tired still from Seattle, and I ate a lot of curry tonight. And it's pretty late. It's pretty late. I want to choose the Summoning Sick construct. That makes sense, right? God is now online as sacked for the leveling up Kabira Vindicator. Anguished Unmaking. What's that targeting? Urza. Well... There's a Neo Charm in hand, which means I'm just dead either way here, I think. I mean, I wasn't beating that anyway, was I? Anguished Unmaking plus Neo Charm being the last card in hand. I assume I'm the one to die here. I seem to be the threat, right? But they can't move out of combat here because of the mana in their pool. So actually, I think I do survive. They can't go to combat without casting a spell, which means I get to use my mana. Huh. I'm going to counterspell the Neo Charm here that they're targeting the Abzan Charm in the bin. I mean, I could hold on to counterspell for later in the game, but this also allows them to draw 2 more cards of Abzan Charm, or kill a creature in an opponent's turn when it counts off Ramos, and none of that seems too good to me. They look at the top card of their library, Sensitive One on top. Are they looking for a Spell Pierce? Or Force wouldn't work. Or even a Dispel, I guess, but I just doubt the Ramos deck is playing any 1 mana counter spells this blue mana can get them into. Oof. That's 17 commander damage to God is now online instead. Where I have been spared, others must suffer in my place. Brutal. We'd want to draw another land so we can cast Urza again. That's a land. That's pretty good. I'm going to draw 2 cards off of Tezzeret first before casting Urza. Probe. Guess we can look at someone's hand. Perhaps I want to cast Narset first. So all of these for blue. Plus, didn't have to crack my Lotus Petal there because I had Swamp mana off this, so that was a bit of a punt. Let's have a little look-see at Liliana's hand. I'm going to pay some life for that. What's in hand? Only a Contamination, Exsanguinate, Khan, Snow-Covered Swamp, Torrent of Hellfire, and Ugin. Okay, the little one off those things, that's fine. Drew a Howling Maw. Does seem good. So I make 3 blue off of my Foundry Inspector and my Sensitive Divine on top and my Construct. We cast Parter of the Veils. We're then going to down tick and have a look at the top cards of our library. It's kind of like dig through time, really. Time Twister, eh? That does seem pretty strong here. Time Twister would open empty our opponent's hands, but it would make me the #1 threat, which isn't necessarily where I want to be, if I'm completely honest. How much enemy #1 anyway? That's the question. I guess if I fabricate for something, I can still cast it off of our Mishra's Workshop, and the cost is reduced by the Foundry Inspector. I can get the Puzzle Box. This is a really fucking hard decision for the options that Fabricate gives us in terms of going to get things like Puzzle Box or Trinisphere or Flux Reservoir or Paradox Engine or any of that nonsense. I'll take Fabricate, and then probably pass the turn here, I think. Guess I want to cast a Howling Mine. I've cast an Urza, a Probe, and a Narset this turn, so perhaps Brain Freezing someone might be pretty fun. I really want Brain Freezing in here for the actual combo kill, or to like Brain Freeze ourselves to fill up our yard for the Mirrored and Besieged. So I guess I'm just going to pass the turn. So Howling Mine's not going to give anyone extra cards because of Narset, which feels pretty good. Next turn I'm going to Fabricate for Paradox Engine and try and go Infinite, I guess. Well, it definitely goes Infinite. That's kind of the easy way out, right? Kind of lame. Soul Ring. That's 7 mana. Incoming Khan. Kind of ruins my Paradox Engine plan, which is a shame. Unless they get the Greaves to get Ramos killed, because Ramos is like basically lethal for anyone without flyers at this point. After a little bit of deliberation, here comes a Khan liberated. The question is, where does she fire it off to? Is it the boots to make the Ramos vulnerable, or is it one of my permanents? I think it's the boots. Okay, my plan here is probably to fabricate from Memnarch, and then use Memnarch to steal the Ramos if Urza survives. Of course, the Ramos player is cardless in hand, but there is a Divining Top in play, and they do know the top cards of the library. Meanwhile, God is Now Online is playing Knights. It's not likely that that's a thing that matters right now. There's a Chieftain Elmdar, which gives all attacking creatures, alongside it, First Strike, which then in essence gives them Double Strike. This art looks like something that Rob Liefeld would draw like in 1990s X-Men, right? Am I right? Okay, let's see what Creaky Aspers on top of their library. They're looking. They're thinking. Maybe not. I think I'm safe behind our Stopters. As long as they don't like randomly get back Golgari Charm or something, then we should be okay. But I mean, I've had my fun. I've had my cake. So if I were to then die while eating said cake, guess it'd be okay. They do not get the extra card of Howling Mine, which is pretty sweet. They are looking at the top cards of their library. The upside is if they tap Senses Divining Top, they can't draw another card because of Narset. I really hope that happens because that would be quite funny. That's black mana. That's the first. Oh, nope, they untapped. Good. Good. Nope, that's more black mana and white mana. Oh, God. What's this going to be? Vindicate. My Narset. Well, shit. Okay, well, Narset dies, which means the top can tap to draw a card. And with the counters on Ramos, they could cast literally anything. They could cast a fucking boat if they wanted to. But I mean, I'm not going to counterspell that, but even pretend I've got counter magic, right? There's no reason to. So I love this Howling Mine because it literally looks like a goblin's head. Narset is dead. That's a lot of fucking mana. Well, it's 10 to be exact, because Ramos always makes 10. What's it gonna be? A kill spell for Urza would be bad because I can't deal with Ramos, but a kill spell for all my Thopters would be even worse because then I'd just be dead. Actually, I wouldn't be dead. No, I would be dead because there'd be counters on the Ramos and they'd hit me for over 11 damage and I'm on 10 commander already. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Okay. And they know what the Cascades might be as well. So Maelstrom Wanderer Cascades into... over like a Caryatid, similar like Crappy Dork. That'd be nice. Well, we knew that was going to be top. Oh wow, you can get the Cascaded counters onto the Ramos. Ramos is gross. Ramos is very gross. I feel sorry for God is Now Online over here with their Knight Tribal fighting against this nonsense. This degenerate nonsense. So they cast top. Then they cast... oh god, they're gonna spin the top. This is the worst. We could Brain Freeze to take them off their Cascades. That might be the correct thing to do, you know. But I might need my blockers. I want the top 3 of my cards in my library, my Sensitive Divining Top with the blue mana off the Howling Mine made by Urza. I wonder if we can find a counterspell on top. It doesn't really matter because we can't draw the card off the Divining Top. It's 3 islands, okay. Okay. We should just Brain Freeze them now, let's be honest. Gilded Lotus. Woo! That's me slapping my chest. Bullet fucking dodged for one turn. Okay, Ramos is getting really fucking big. Like, one-shot people big. Spin on the top one more time. That's spare black mana. Bloody hell. Divining Top is dumb. Divining Top is so dumb. Oh, fuck me. They're drawing a card off the top. I've got 5 mana available as well. It could be anything. I hope it's not destroyed artifacts. That would suck. Is this some form of ultimatum? Bring to light. Shit. Well, that means that I'm definitely going to lose my board. Looks like I'm dead. The Ramos deck has come out of the things it comes out of. The sidelines? Swinging like a fucking... Like a mad thing with things to swing. They might not have Pulse in their deck. Maelstrom Pulse. I'm hoping they don't. Golgari Charm's in their graveyard. Jund Charm would be pretty bad because it would be 2 damage to all my creatures. Golgari Charm's in the graveyard. Pulse is another option. So Detention Sphere would get rid of all my Thopters and kill me from commander damage. Maelstrom Pulse would kill all my Thopters and kill me with commander damage. Zealous Persecution, but I don't think anyone would play Zealous Persecution. It's not modal enough. Where the other 3 that I mentioned are very versatile and very good at killing lots of things, or dealing with lots of problematic permanents at once. That's an Esper Charm to draw 2 cards. Looks like I live to fight another day. I'm assuming Ramos is going to kill someone here, or at least kill a Planeswalker at the very least. But killing Dani does just kill both the walkers that she controls. We go to combat. Here they come. They're both going at Khan. I feel like someone's giving someone a chance. Maybe they shouldn't. Yeah, sacrificing creature and drawing 2 cards. God is now online. I thought they were going to remove Ramos Instance Plowshares. Please not my Urza. That makes my turn considerably worse. Oh. It just says draw a card on it. Better than a Narset, I guess. Better than with a Narset in play, actually. Perhaps they're sparing Dani because they feel like they need Dani to help kill me. At least we're drawing 2 of these fucking islands, I guess. So I'm going to draw 2 cards off my Tezzeret, hoping to draw Mana Rocks. Perhaps I should do that after shooting Fabricate, but I kind of want all the information before I cast Trail of Evidence. We drew Torpor Orb, which is definitely a thing. I guess I should have cast Trail of Evidence, but I'm going to cast Fabricate. I mean, Paradox Engine is probably the better card, but I don't have much of a way to draw cards here. But I guess I can just cast everything in my deck. That seems easy. Yeah, why not, eh? Why not? Right then, Paradox Engine is in play. It seems like clicking with Urza Online's kind of annoying. Okay, let's go spell number 1 then. Whoop-pa! Paradox Engine untaps everything. Let's see, okay. This is gonna be time consuming. Tap, 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 tap. We activate Urza for the first time. It's an island. That sucks. We activate Urza for the second time. Pongify. We Pongify the Ramos to be on the safe side. Nice monkey, bitch. Urza activation, find Mystic Remora, tap all our artifacts for blue mana, cast the Remora, untap everything thanks to broken ass combo engine. We then activate Urza 4 more times and hit not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 fucking lands in a row. If we hit too many lands, we could just whiff and fail to go off, as we won't be able to untap our permanents and make all the blue mana that we need. I cast this Torpor Orb in order to generate some more mana. Orb is one of the stacks pieces in the deck, and if I were to play Urza again, I'd cut it in a heartbeat because it's trash. We dump mana into our pool, activate Big Daddy, and find another fucking land. We activate again and we hit War of Invention, which we use to trigger Paradox Engine and find a mana crypt. We spin with Urza, hit an X mana draw spell, cast it simply to untap, and draw 0 cards and discard a land to it. And then we dump mana and spin again. We hit Snapcaster Mage, which would be pretty gas here if it wasn't for me needing to use the Torpor Orb earlier to make mana.
Wrecked.
We spin again, Chrome Mox, untap, dump mana. We exile nothing because with Urza in play, we just get to tap it for blue mana anyway. That's a combo. We then hit Mox Diamond and Mana Drain. We Mana Drain our own Mox Diamond while holding priority in order just to get 2 untap triggers to generate a shit ton of mana, and we dump it all in our pool. Every instant and sorcery we cast is generating a clue, which nets us more mana as well. We then find Time Spiral, so we cast Brain Freeze on the Ramos player to up our storm count and mill them a bunch. We then shuffle all graveyards in, so the mill was pointless, but we do have a higher storm count now. We all draw 7 cards, and I get to untap 6 lands. Time Spiral drew people into removal, which resolves on Urza. Then we just recast Urza with the shit ton of mana that's in our pool. This goes on for a while until I Blue Suns to draw my entire fucking deck. I then Brain Freeze down to 0 cards in library. I cast new Jace to ensure we can't be decked. People are tapped out here, so it's pretty safe to draw my whole library. We Cyclonic Rift the entire board. I cast an Flux Reservoir, cast a couple of spells, and then I Death Star God is now online to death. We move to combat attack Creaky Asp for lethal with 2 huge golems, but whilst in combat I decide to make a fat stack thanks to Vidalcan Orrery and then win at instant speed by drawing the last cards in our deck thanks to Jace. Yeah, that felt good, obnoxious, and pretty absurd. GG Paradox NG. To summarise how I feel playing Urza, the card is obscenely powerful. It brings with it a huge body, usually lots of mana, and a cool randomised mana sink. I think Paradox Engine is really the issue. It just turns most combo decks in the format into easy mode combo decks. I think that I will personally be avoiding playing with it in future, in the same way that I don't put Cyclonic Rift into my paper decks either. It's just too much of an easy mode card. Personally, I feel that Engine dominates enough games and provides almost zero utility outside of making combos too easy, and I feel like it provides nothing good for the format. Almost everyone I talk to, even those people playing the fucking thing, dislike it, and I wouldn't mind to see it perhaps get on the ban list and just be gone. The card just doesn't help the format in any way. Let me know what you think. Was the deck fun? Did you enjoy this style of video? Any jokes you liked in particular? And what do you think of Paradox Engine? Does it need to go? Or if it doesn't need to go, perhaps just getting rid of it is a healthy thing. Do you think Urza is too powerful? A lot of the conversation around Modern Horizons has been dominated by how good the Hogak deck has been in Modern. Do you think Urza's just a little bit too good as well? I'll be avoiding playing Engine in future, but I might still play Urza. I think it's a fun card. I think the mana and the randomised activation ability is quite cool. I just think Paradox Engine is the card that pushed it to be too good. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. Think of me next time you combo yourself off in a 4-player pod whilst everyone watches. Don't forget to yeet loudly whilst doing so, and look after yourself in the meantime. Ta-ta for now.